Most people think they know the Lion King story, but if you trace the kingdom's history, you'll see something different. The Pridelands aren't shaped by the lions who ruled, but by the lions who died. A king was thrown into a canyon by his own brother, a tyrant devoured by the very army he built, and a son crushed under the weight of his mother's obsession. Today, we're breaking down the 5 deaths that changed the Pridelands forever. One of them never even happened on screen, yet still changed everything. Before we get into the deaths you actually saw on screen, the story starts with a character you never did. A character who lived only in print inside the 1994 book series The Lion King, 6 New Adventures. He was Simba and Nala's cub who ran too far, asked too many questions, and kept Rafiki busy with stories. And then, nothing. Disney's animation team never mentions him again. When The Lion King the Sang, Simba's Pride came out in 1998, the heir on screen was Kiara, not Kopa. For decades, fans have asked the same question. What happened to him? And that silence turned into something shocking. The timeline between 1994 and 1998 left a blank page, and fans filled it with blood. They spread a theory that Zira, the Scar-devoted lioness introduced in Simba's Pride, killed Kopa after Scar's death. It made sense. Because of Zira's cruelty, the outsider's exile, and Simba's cold distrust of them all fit too perfectly. That missing death did something strange. It taught people to start looking under the surface to hunt for what the movies didn't show. If a cub could vanish, what else was buried in this story? That question leads straight to the first real death that rewrote Prideland's history. Nuka's story feels rough because it is so close to real life. He is Zira's oldest son, but he never feels like the favorite from the start. He watches his mother pour all her pride and love into Kovu. Nuka is left chasing scraps. He wants to be seen, but every time Kovu is praised, Nuka shrinks a little more. You can hear it in his voice. Kovu! 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 He is hungry for someone to say, "I'm proud of you." When Zira orders the attack on Simba, Nuka jumps at the chance this is the day he can prove he's not a mistake. So he climbs the old log pile with wild energy, slipping, pulling himself higher and higher. The wood is dry, but Nuka does not stop. He wants one sentence from his mother. "You did well." And then everything falls apart. The logs give way. Nuka falls and the logs crush him. When Zira runs to him, he looks up and gives his last words, soft and small. "I'm sorry, Mother. I tried." That line hits people hard because it is not a villain's line. It is the sound of someone who wanted love more than victory. His death is not about war or pride. It is about a boy who pushed himself until the ground gave out. Nuka's death shakes the outsiders. It breaks Zira in a way nothing else could. She becomes sharper, and her anger turns into a vow to destroy Simba, no matter the cost. Kovu watches this happen and finally understands the price of Zira's world. Nuka may not be the strongest lion, or the smartest, or the chosen one, but his death bends the path of everyone around him. Now that we've seen how one son's need for love pushed the outsiders toward war, let's move to the lion who stood at the center of that war. The leader who refused peace, even when a hand reached down to save her. This is the death of a villain who chose death over peace. After Scar's fall, she will not let go. She gathers the lions who still follow him. They move to the Outlands, a dry, harsh place to live. There, she trains Kovu to be Scar's true heir. She teaches him to bite first and to never trust Simba. Every day is a lesson in hate. Zira is sharp and strict. She studies Simba's pride from the border and sees any sign of warmth as a threat to her plan. When Kovu meets Kiara and begins to change, Zira does not bend. She tightens. She orders ambush after ambush. She talks about the plan, the pride, and Scar's will as if they are sacred to Zira. Mercy is weakness and peace is a trap. Nuka's death pushes her over the edge. She blames Simba for everything and vows to finish the fight. She lines up the outsiders and pushes Kovu out when he hesitates. She calls for war at the edge of a roaring river, rain pounding, and mud beneath every paw. Then the moment came that changed everything. Kiara and Kovu stopped the battle. They stand between both sides. Kiara shouted, "Stop! A wise king once told me, we are one." For a second, some outsiders look unsure. Vitani even steps to Kiara's side. It seems like the war can end here. Then Zira does something unexpected. She launches herself at Simba. Kiara doesn't hesitate. She leaps midair, blocking Zira just in time. Both lions slide, claws scraping against stone. Kiara finds a small ledge. She stretches a paw, trembling but steady. "Give me your paw." Zira stares. For a heartbeat, it seems she might choose life. But pride is stronger than survival. She swipes at Kiara's paw, rejecting help, and falls into the raging river below. Her fall is more than death. It shatters the war and brings peace to the kingdom. Some cross the line, stepping into the Pride Lands, letting go of old resentment. With Zira gone, a story dies with her, the story that hate must pass from mother to child, that Scar's shadow still rules, and a new story begins. Kovu and Kiara can lead with hope instead of fear. The Pride Lands can heal. The cubs can grow up free without the crushing weight of revenge. But it is shocking as well. She chooses the fall, and that choice tells us who she is. What kind of kingdom the Pride Lands will be without her. That's Zira's death, a leader who picked hate over life, and a war that ended the moment she let go. Now we turn to the lion who lit that fire long before, whose end came from the very allies he raised. In The Lion King, while Mufasa walks with confidence and strength, there is a lion who stays in the shadows, watching every move and studying every weakness. He speaks softly, but every word is sharp with hunger behind it. From the start, he wants one thing: the throne on top of Pride Rock. That lion is Scar, a mastermind behind the most painful moment in the Lion King story. After Mufasa's death, Scar does not just take the throne, he takes the land, the laws, and the future of the Pride Lands with him. Once Scar becomes king, everything starts to fall. The Pride Lands, once bright and full of life, become dry and silent. The grass turns brown and the sky grows dark. Scar invites the hyenas into Pride Rock as a platform for his power. Under Scar, the land looks like it is holding its breath. When Simba returns, Scar's grip starts to break. Simba forces Scar into the truth, but Scar again tries to manipulate him. He blames the hyenas, but this time, fate has other plans. The hyenas hear every word. In that moment, Scar loses the only army he ever had. And this is what makes Scar's death so shocking. Simba doesn't kill him. Simba gives him a chance to run. Scar tries to attack again. Simba throws him off the cliff, but the fall is not what ends him. The hyenas do, the same group he used, controlled, and lied to. They surround him in the flames and finish what they believe is justice. Scar's death reshapes the Pridelands. In an instant, the land begins to heal. Rain returns, and the sky clears. Simba steps into his role with a weight that only he can carry. But his fall is the closing of one cycle and the spark of the next. He proves that a tyrant's end is never heroic. It is only the moment the world finally breathes again. Scar's end wipes the slate clean, but it also exposes something bigger. The kingdom was already cracked long before his fire. To understand why the Pridelands fell so fast and why they rose so slowly, you have to go back to the moment the whole foundation broke. Scar's fall cleared the stage, but the cracks in the kingdom ran deeper. They started long before him, in the lion who once held the world on his shoulders. He has a roar that kept land in balance, and his presence held the sky in place. When he stands on Pride Rock, the land feels steady and the animals move with calm steps. He teaches Simba how the circle of life works and teaches him that every creature matters, even the tiniest ones. Well, I am talking about Mufasa, the heart of the Pridelands. He is strong, carries the whole kingdom the way a mountain carries the sky quietly, without complaint. That is why his death hits so hard. Scar lures Simba into the gorge, a place where the wildebeest roar like thunder. Mufasa races down the cliff, heart pounding, every muscle straining. He bursts into the chaos, pushes through the stampede, and lifts Simba to safety. But he's not done yet. He climbs the rock wall, paw by paw, to save his son, fighting for one more breath. Finally, when he reaches the ledge, his eyes lock on Scar. Mufasa asks him for help. Scar leans in close. The claws sink into Mufasa's paws. And then, with a voice as cold as stone, he whispers, "Long live the king." The world goes quiet. Simba runs to him, nudges him once, twice, and waits. There is no answer. Simba curls under his father's paw, trying to make the moment stop. This is the part that breaks the viewers, because it breaks Simba first, a cub who has just lost his world. For the Pridelands, Mufasa's absence actually loses balance, and without balance, everything begins to fall apart. But Mufasa's death also plants something new. It builds a king inside Simba. Not at that moment, but slowly, through memory and pain, Simba runs from his guilt, hides in a new life. But Mufasa's lessons follow him everywhere he goes. Remember who you are. Those words pull Simba back to Pride Rock to face the truth. They make him step into the place he was born to fill. When Simba finally returns, the rain washes the dust away. The circle of life opens again, stronger than before. Mufasa's spirit shapes the kingdom long after he is gone. His love becomes the backbone of Simba's rule and the guide for the next generation. These 5 deaths didn't just change characters, they changed the land, the politics, and the future of the Pridelands. Now I want to hear from you. Which death do you think changed the Pridelands the most? Was it Mufasa, Zira's, or Nuka? Drop your take in the comments.